Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Laissez le bon temps.
Laissez
Rouler.
le bon temps. Rouler. Rouler.
And I'm wearing heels. Don't even worry, I'm wearing heels.
I'm wearing a mask.
Don't even worry, he's wearing a mask.
Wear a mask. No peripherals. No dogs out.
No problem. Welcome back to Twink Twank Twunk. We're going to take off our beads really quick so the audio isn't a disaster. We're so excited to be here.
Wait, quick moment.
ASMR for the audio listeners.
Mar.
Hi, audio listeners. Hi. Okay, so I'm in my Mardi Gras fit. This is a family heirloom that was worn in a real Mardi Gras parade. So I'm very excited to be sporting it today. Audio levels look good. Vibes.
Immaculate.
Immaculate.
Anything else we're forgetting? A smile. Hi. No peripherals is actually quite hard to live with, as I realized.
Wrap on the mask. Thank you to the camera 2. Thank you to the mask.
Thank you to the mask.
Thank you to the mask.
Thank you
Camera
to the
2.
mask. It's very form-fitting, though. I quite like it.
I think that's the one I wore when I rode in Endymion.
Is it really?
Yes. So
No
for
way.
those of you that don't know, my mom's whole family lives in New Orleans, Louisiana. So I grew up every year going to Mardi Gras. So we mentioned that I've ridden in a parade. I've ridden in Endymion. For anyone that knows, it is the big Saturday night parade that usually ends in the Superdome. I heard it ended in the convention center this year.
Oh, it wasn't the Superdome this
No.
year. Oh.
But Flo Rida was there.
I love Flo Rida.
Mm-hmm.
You whip my hair out.
While we're on the topic of Mardi Gras, we're going to talk about, we were just there.
Mm-hmm.
This is Zach's third Mardi Gras with my family.
Is one of the most insane, fun experiences I've ever been to. The way I describe it to like my friends who have never been before is like imagine how you expect Mardi Gras to be with the beads and the parades and like the partying, and it blows away any expectation you could possibly have. I've never failed to have like the best time of my life at Mardi Gras 3 times now. It's gotten better and better each time.
And there's that crazy debaucherous, show me your boobs side of it. There's also the family wholesome side. They develop these ladders for kids to sit on where they build like wooden seats. And you sit your kids in them and they watch the parades and catch all the beads and the stuffed animals and the cups and the doubloons. So there's a wholesome side to Mardi Gras as well, which I think is something not everyone knows about.
It's equally as fun, in my opinion. I mean, Devin's family has the ladders on the parade routes. I have equally just as much fun showing up for the morning parades, getting on the ladders and like catching beads as they go by. It's incredibly wholesome, but it's fantastic.
You want to know something funny?
Yeah.
So our third roommate, Nate. Shout out to Nate. Hi, Nate. Nate would be camera 3 if we had the straight camera. Hi, Nate. Hypothetical camera 3. But his mom was a firefighter for a while. And we're so comfortable in New Orleans on ladders because of Mardi Gras. So I'm like up there sitting on like a 7-foot ladder. And he's like, it's crazy. Like I thought I was comfortable on ladders with my mom being a firefighter, but nothing compared to a native New Orleanser who's willing to stand on a ladder and catch beads for Mardi Gras.
A famous story from Devin's mom during the first parades, they throw out giant high heels, giant boots, high heels that are bedazzled and they look beautiful. She once fell backwards off of a ladder trying to catch the boot midair, to catch the heel.
My mom, clocking in at a whopping 4'11", dove backwards off of a 6-foot ladder to catch a heel. The parade was Muses. Yeah, pretty iconic. Shout out, Mom.
Absolutely. Shout out, Angelique.
Hi, Angelique.
Hi, Angelique. That's fine.
Hi, Angelique.
Hi, Angelique.
Well, I want to talk about New Orleans for a little bit while we're on it.
Yeah.
And actually, my Educate the Straight for this week is about New Orleans.
Do you want to do it now?
Let's just hop in.
Let's just do it.
Okay, so we're going to talk about, I got to lecture at UCLA this week. We're going to talk more about that at the second half of the pod. What an honor. Okay, but we'll come back. So one of the things I mentioned, and I was refreshed when I was sifting through my notes, which was literally Sasha Velour's The Big Reveal. If you hadn't read it, it is truly like, it's called The Manifesto of Drag. It is like a drag textbook, and it's so well written. She's such a good writer. But Carnival, so Christianity, wasn't super excited about the binary or breaking the binary. So they would take things away, like the term shaman transformed into sham to call anyone that was third gender or outside the gender binary. like you're a shaman, and then they villainized it. They're like, And so for a long time, there's been rises and falls to queer artistry in the world. Christianity didn't allow much of it, but tomato, 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 tomato. But one of the only times of the year that people could get away with cross-dressing or any kind of elevated artistry with gender performance was Carnival, which was the beginning. It was a religious holiday usually to celebrate the beginning of Lent, but depending on different religions and cultures, it depends when those carnivals would be. And so, Mardi Gras was literally a mecca for queer people to present gender. And they're like, it's not that big of a deal. We're just dressed up for Carnival. Come on. Like, we're dressed up for Carnival.
That's fascinating.
How are you going to cause it? Yeah, so my culture literally was one way that queer people were able to represent themselves to society. Isn't that cool?
That's really cool. And where did that start? I believe Carnival starts in Spain, is it?
So Brazil has a really big carnival.
Brazil, yeah.
And then Mardi Gras. So a lot of New Orleans influence is Spanish, is French. Actually, I would say French. I'm going to lock in French.
Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Laissez le bon temps rouler. Oui. Yeah, so New Orleans and Mardi Gras is super important for that. And speaking of Laissez le bon temps rouler.
Let the good times roll.
My drag alter ego, when I am that Southern girl ready to devastate. Oh my gosh, I gotta... Okay, so we once did a fake pageant with our friend, and we just wanted to have a good time. I don't know if she wants to take credit for this joke or not, so we'll just say our good friend Laura. It was the question and answer section, and I was trying to throw him off. I was hosting the pageant. Yes. And so her question was, if you could be a natural disaster, which natural disaster would you be and why? And obviously that is a question you have to tread lightly on. You don't want to offend people.
And the answers we were getting were like earthquake or like forest fire because, I want people to quake in their boots.
Because I'm on fire.
Yeah, like probably pretty standard answers.
Without missing a beat, Laura looks at us and she goes, I am like a hurricane. Because like a hurricane, I have also devastated the American Southeast. Are you kidding me?
It was just, come on.
A masterclass.
A masterclass. I was actually, in this night of pageantry, I was Laura's, pageant dad. Mm-hmm. She was my pageant child. We'd show her around a little bit. I've never been more proud.
It was so iconic. Laura, Laura's a camera 2 girl.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Laura. But anyway, I was going to say my drag alter ego, when I'm ready to talk all Southern and give myself a bit of a Southern drawl, my drag name would be Laissez le Baton Roulette. Lazie. L apostrophe baton, like the baton I twirl at my good practice for the color guard. And then roulette, because my daddy lost all my family's money gambling.
Laissez le bon temps roulette. You got the healthiest bosom in all the South.
Gee whiz.
Woo, yeehaw.
What did I say? Money gambling? My daddy lost all my family's money gambling.
Money gambling.
Money gambling.
Money gambling.
Yeah.
That gives me vibes of a film. Money gambling.
That's a Trixie Mattel reference. Camera 2.
Trixie's camera 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a Trixie Mattel reference? I didn't know that.
Yeah, she has her Netflix show I like to watch, and that's what she would call the films.
She calls it films instead of films. I don't know.
So, as someone that didn't grow up with Mardi Gras, what is one thing that, besides the food, actually, let's talk about the food. What's your favorite food?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that. My favorite food is jambalaya from Mardi Gras.
Really?
Which we did have a chance to this past time, yes. But every other time I've been with Devin's family, they always make this giant vat of jambalaya. And on multiple occasions, I have just shown up in the morning, just tired and just starving. We didn't get a chance to eat at the house. And there's this big vat of jambalaya waiting for me on the parade route. And so when all the circumstances come together, it was one of the best things I have ever tasted. And since then, jambalaya has been actually one of my favorite foods.
Shut up.
Yeah, whenever I have a chance to try it.
I'll tell Uncle Kevin he can ship us some next time he makes it.
I would actually love that. It's delicious.
We make jambalaya in these huge pots. Mm. It's tough because it's a lot of rice and you don't want it to get too crispy. I like crispy rice, but that's not the goal for jambalaya.
Not the style.
And you don't want it to be too soft. It's like a huge pot. You usually throw sausage in there. It's really delicious.
Tons of amazing Creole seasonings. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. It's similar to gumbo in a lot of ways, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna get myself in trouble with my New Orleans family, but I would say like gumbo is like the soup version of jambalaya.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah,
so
has more broth to it.
More broth,
more bouillon.
More
is that it?
Bouillon.
The bouillon.
Bouillon.
Oh, bouillon.
Bouillon.
Laissez le bouton. Bouillon.
BILLON. Bouillon. Gotta make a roux. You know what roux is? It's just like flour and water.
Obviously, po' boys are just fantastic. I mean, what makes a po' boy so special from a normal sandwich?
It's the bread. So the bread, like, so a po' boy is usually fried shrimp or fried catfish, fried oyster, even roast beef. And then we call it dressed. And dressed is like lettuce, tomato, pickle, and mayo traditionally. So I always do dressed, no mayo. Sometimes dressed as ketchup. That's very controversial. So that's what a po'. And then the bread, it's very crunchy, and it's like a French loaf. But I mean, like we have in Crenshaw, close to where we live, we have a New Orleans restaurant that claims to sell po' boys, and they do their darndest. But I wouldn't.
It's just not the same. I think
it's just not the same.
No, I guess how could it be? In New Orleans, they have all the competition for different po' boy shops to create them. There's no reason to go to a bad po' boy shop,
right?
In Louisiana,
even the gas station's got them.
Even the gas. There's that one gas station that has an amazing po' boy. Frankly, as is the case with a lot of gas station eateries. Like I think I've told you, San Diego. My favorite burrito place in San Diego, El Pueblo. It's open 24/7. It's in a gas station. It is one of the most delicious burritos I've ever had, and they sell fish tacos for 99 cents, and they're amazing.
I mean, if we're gonna shut them out, let's shut them out. What is your order at El Pueblo? What street is it off? Do you know?
I do. It's off of Manchester. Actually, it's right off the freeway on Manchester Avenue in Encinitas, California. I get either two orders. Either I get 3 fish tacos for count them, 3 parentheses $3
or $2.97
or $2.97.
But who's counting?
I mean, a little bit of tax. Actually, it's more like $3.13, something like that. Sure. I mean, and they're like big fish tacos, and for $3, it's very hard to beat. But if I'm not feeling fish tacos, they have an amazing carne asada burrito. The rice is free, the guac is free, and they stuff it to the brim. And the best part, now for all my listeners, the best way that you can tell a Mexican shop, and we'll go back to Louisiana. I'm going off a tangent here.
No, go for it.
The best way that you can tell if a Mexican shop is up to par, is delicious, you judge them by their salsa bar. If a Mexican place ever tries to tell you that you can only get a little bit of salsa and you have to pay for more, they're false. That's so untrue. The best Mexican places have that big open bar salsa, like salsa bar, where you can just scoop as much red salsa, orange salsa, green salsa, chili peppers. You just get as much as you want. And that's how you truly judge a Mexican place on their salsa.
You know what the New Orleans equivalent of that is?
Po' boys?
Of the salsa bar.
Oh, what?
It's if their small soda is at least a half gallon. If they give you a small soda that's anything less than a half gallon, that's not a true establishment.
Don't
Get
trust
out.
it. Don't
run
trust
for
it.
your life. Have you ever had red cream soda?
I have. You've showed it to me, actually.
Delish. Mm-hmm. Delish. It's Barks brand, the one that I like at least. Yeah. Red cream soda. I don't know what the flavor is. It's just red.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think actually once you were over at my house and my mom got it for you. Funny enough.
Yes. So I once spent a Thanksgiving with the Lewises. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug. Doug's on camera too.
Doug's on camera
sure.
too. Without a doubt.
Yeah, Zach's mom got me cream soda on the year I had to do Thanksgiving with them. So was blessed.
And we were blessed to have you.
Yeah, it was really fun.
It was awesome. I actually had a wonderful time. Yeah. But so back to New Orleans, we were on Po' Boys. Well, one more thing, if we can talk about Mardi Gras, I think the biggest part is what you catch, what you acquire, the materialism. I'm sure I'm a lot more charmed by it than you are. Just you've been so many years. But like this past year, what was the best thing you caught?
That's a great question. So when I can't even, it's hard to explain the quantity of what is thrown from these floats. But like, so for example, I have this light up bead. This was thrown in Bacchus this year. And you might be like, wow, that like is a really cool bead. And it is. Every single float in Bacchus, I think over 30 floats, had a different variation of a light up bead that corresponded to the float, as well as an individual cup. Some parades have individual decks of playing cards for each float.
Socks.
Bacchus had a pair of socks for each float. I mean, recently New Orleans has tried to get away from just throwing classic beads because they know people throw it away. So the price of riding has raised, which is unfortunate. But the quality of the throws, which is what you call anything you throw from a float, has increased. So it's really cool. I mean, it is cool every year to see how they elevate it. Shout out to Iris this year. They have incredible sunglasses, which I would love to. Would you mind grabbing it?
Yeah,
it's in my sunglass. Yeah, I think it's in my sunglass bag. It should be in a case. Their thing has been sunglasses for the last 5 years. And to get rid of their bulk sunglasses, one thing they threw this year was a sunglass mystery box, which gag. So it had one of the last 5 pairs of sunglasses from the past 5 years in the mystery box, which such a brilliant way to get rid of their bulk. People were so excited because they're like, oh my gosh, which sunglasses am I going to get out of the bag? So shout out to Iris. That's the parade that my family rides in. My little sister Tiffany and my mom rode in it this year. So it was super exciting. Let me show you the Iris sunglass from this year. Thank you for getting it.
You are so welcome.
It looks like something that I would have spent a lot of time constructing. The rhinestones are pretty nice. They're inlaid into the sunglass. And it's a cute little cat eye shape. Should I put it on?
Sure. The rest of your makeup.
I'm not going to put them all the way on. Right? This is nice.
Those are really nice.
Yeah. So, shout out Iris. Although, so New Orleans isn't perfect. Can I say something kind of funny?
Yes.
So my Aunt Sophie, hi Sophie, she caught a oven mitt from Iris and she used it and it burned through the oven mitt. So it's wasn't meant for, I guess it's a microwave mitt, but
gosh.
Don't take Mardi Gras too seriously.
No, I wouldn't trust anything I catch from those floats. Honestly, other than the sunglasses, other than the cool plushies and whatnot.
Oh, but then again, I'm not wearing these and hoping for incredible UV protection.
when the UV index is 125.
I'm like, oh no, Miss Ma'am, Iris threw me this.
Iris is protecting me, the goddess.
Surely protected from these UV rays.
If Iris says I'm okay, I'm okay.
The legendary goddess herself handed me these protective lenses to put before my very eyes. If you think I'm in danger, think again because you're ignorant.
It's funny. The Iris parade is my favorite parade. One, I see your family in the parade. It's also the only parade where I, as a male, have the upper hands. Mm-hmm. Every other parade, we were there with my, we were there with a big group last year, and all of our friends, the girls, would just go woo! All the guys would tell them whatever they wanted. I was just stuck with basic beats. I felt defeated and downtrodden is how I felt. But in Iris, the playing field is leveled.
Camera 2, let's take a moment. And audio listeners, this is for you as well. The straight white man endured a challenge. Wow. Let's just take a second to ponder how he could have felt when the world was not favoring him.
Sad.
You're brave. You are heard. And you are appreciated. On the topic of, I do want to say
go ahead.
On the topic of gender, so I got in drag. I did a photo shoot at Mardi Gras. I'll put some photos up. Bloop, 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 bloop. And it's a lot. I have to get in drag, go to the parades. I just want my content and then I'm out. I'm not there to to turn it for the night.
To parade around.
Oh. Yeah. So, but I went with my sister and her friends because you had left already. I did it on the Monday before Mardi Gras.
Right.
Shout out to Marguerite's amazing friends, Brody, Bridie, and Cade. Hi. And of course, Marguerite. But Marguerite was a little bit nervous. She's like, okay, we're in the South. I don't want to make too big of a scene at the parade with you in drag. I don't want there to be any problems. And I was like, Marguerite, I think it's going to I actually mentioned this at my lecture, which we'll talk about in a second, but I present positive forward when I'm in drag, positivity forward. I'm not there to demand attention or be a diva. I'm there to exist. I'm not trying to cause a problem. I was like, Margaret, I think it's really going to be fine. She's like, oh, we're by frat bros. Is that a problem? I was like, no, usually frat bros, honestly,
they're actually very nice about it. Yeah.
They're very nice. They if the girls are around especially, they're like, oh, I want to, act cool, act chill. Bruh.
Peace and love, bro.
Yo, bro.
Bruh, dude.
That drag queen, that faggot in a wig. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to say that.
sorry, force of habit, sorry.
Yeah, that bro in a wig, was absolutely turning it. Would tap if I swung that way, but I don't.
But no homo, no homo.
No Kokomo by the Beach Boy.
Yeah, my guy.
Anyway, so I was like, I think it's going to be fine. And I'm so excited because it was beyond fine. So parade route space is very coveted. people literally made space so I could get in front of the parade, take pictures. Apparently, I didn't hear this. I didn't see this, but Marguerite's friends told me that they saw like 2 teenage boys, and one of them was like looking at me weird, and his friend looked at him and was like, "What? Like, don't like that's normal. That's cool." Isn't that so cute?
That's very sweet. Aw.
Mm-hmm. And it was like a little bit of a meet and greet. There was like a line to take pictures with me at one point because they wanted to like, see the DIVOS experience. So I got pictures with a bunch of people on the parade route. The photos are great. Shout out Cade and all of Marguerite's friends for helping. Much appreciated.
They are wonderful. I do love Marguerite's friends. They're all fantastic. My favorite photo of the whole shoot was the one you did a couple by the porta potties, just for class, for camp, very camp. And the owner of the porta potty is kind of running the show, wanted a photo with you after you took all the photos. So there's this great photo of the guy peeking his head out of a porta potty and DIVOS right in front of him. It's I love it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, like usually you have to pay for the porta potties, but I asked to take photos, and he not only said yes, he like was such a good sport and hopped in some. So that was Mardi Gras. Round of applause for Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. I love the beats from Mardi Gras. I love them properly.
Throw them to camera 2. Camera 2. Catch them. Woo! Catch them, camera 2. We do have an advertiser this week, which I'm super excited about.
Brand new sponsors.
It is ourselves.
It's Zach and DIVOS.
So we are on Zach and DIVOS. We're on the 3rd week of the pod and the 2nd week of our Patreon. Big shout out to all of our Patreon members now. We have our Patreon up and running. We have all of the different tier lists. We have Friend of the Pod, which is 1 sticker a week. We have Here for Zach, which is the tier that gets the Zach sticker. True Beauty, which gets 3 out of the 4 stickers. And then finally, we have Producer of Twink Twank Twunk, which gets all 4 stickers. You get every sticker that we make every single month.
So, and a shout out on the pod if you.
So what are these stickers? What am I talking about?
So we actually got some really cool artists to commission some stickers. The styles, if I may, one style is very Paper Mario, like fun, cartoony. If you've ever seen Paper Mario, you'll understand. The other one is very Steven Universe-esque, in my opinion. It really just, I love this style of art because it really just accentuates the cool parts of your drag. The chest plate, the hair, the makeup. It really makes everything that makes drag cool pop. And they're cute and fun. You can put them on your water bottle, put them on your hydro flask, put them on your Target Stanley Cup. Take them anywhere, really. Yeah, and we're only giving out these stickers on the month that the podcast episode airs. So if you want any of my looks from the month, you have to get it then. And then every month, we also have the exclusive, very, very, very special Zach sticker. So we'll pick one Zach look a month, and he'll have a Zach sticker. So that's the Here for Zach. Make sure you check out the Patreon, support us. We're doing this for free. We're working really hard. We love your supports. If you enjoy the podcast, please consider. So should we do the bit of the week? This is a good bit of the week. Okay. It's a very good bit of the week. Why don't you give it to him, Zach? Okay. So the bit of the week, it's a little bit silly. You have to do it with your closest friends. Happy Almost Pride Month. Oh my gosh. We did again. 3rd episode in a row. Happy Almost Pride Month. Camera 1. Happy Almost Pride Month. Camera 2. To our audio listeners, I'm sorry we haven't come in to give you a moment yet. We've forgotten. Happy Almost Pride Month. I've only interrupted Zach so many times today, so I wanted to make sure to do this for this kind of celebration. But just know, audio listeners, we're here with you. And Devin, can I just say, Happy Almost Pride Month to you. Devin is wished a Happy Almost Pride Month. Camera 2. DIVOS, Happy Almost Pride Month as well. To both of you. Ding dong. Okay, sorry. So what's the bit of the week? So the bit of the week is observe. Devin, I don't care what any of our listeners think. I think your hat is perched perfectly on your hair. Zach, I don't care what any of our visual viewers think. Wearing a t-shirt and shorts is a really brave and powerful fashion choice. Devin, I don't care what anyone else thinks. I think your oral hygiene is fantastic. Let's keep going. I like this bit. Devin, here's the thing. I don't care what everyone else is saying behind your back and to your face. I think your eyelashes, they fit very well on your face. Zach, I don't care what my parents say. Spending time with you is not a waste of my precious time on this planet. And in fact, you might have a future past the age of 35. So that is the bit of the week. I personally love it because technically, grammatically, there is nothing wrong with the first part that we're saying. Because I don't care what anyone else thinks when I'm saying this nice compliments. I just love that. Makes it sound so backhanded.
So rooted in sarcasm.
So rude in sarcasm.
Another extension of the bit, which I do like.
Observe. Devin, I love your makeup right now. It's so stupid.
Zach, your teeth look really white.
It's so stupid.
Is that mean?
No, I don't think it's mean at all. Oh, we have fun.
We have fun.
We have fun.
So I was just gonna say, sarcasm is so. I don't view us as sarcastic anymore. I view us as silly. But in New Orleans, Marguerite's friends, my sister Marguerite. Some noise for Marguerite.
She's got a lot of shout outs.
She getting a lot of shout outs.
She deserves shout outs.
But some of her friends were like, "Oh, you're being sarcastic right now." I was like, "Yeah." But like, I feel like that's just the vibe. When you're bantering with your friends, I don't consider it sarcastic. I feel like sarcastic has a negative connotation. I'm being irreverent.
Being witty.
Witty.
It's witty. Because when you break it down, sarcasm is just implying different things than what you're saying. When you make a joke, you're implying humor. You're implying other things.
Right.
So technically, sure, it's sarcasm. But I agree. I think sarcasm is told with a negative connotation and a negative tone to portray less than positive things.
Right. And I'm just being unserious. I'm having fun.
Yeah, making a joke.
Yeah.
I agree.
Oh my God.
Oh, we have fun.
Oh, yeah, audio listeners.
Oh, yeah.
So when Zach makes that whoop sound and we giggle, it's because he's crossing his fingers. So the extension of the bit, I'm sorry we didn't leave you in earlier.
I'm sorry, audio listeners.
The extension of the bit is to do the bit, but then pop up your fingers and show you're crossing your fingers. So like, haha, just kidding.
I was like lying the whole time.
Banter.
Teehee. That's so interesting that like, I guess if you're not used to very witty people like ourselves.
Brilliantly witty.
I guess you just would recognize it as sarcasm.
Should we talk about my lecturing quickly before we go?
Yes, I do. Yes, please.
So I was invited to lecture at a UCLA class, the #1 public university in the world, on drag. So I was given an hour and 20 minutes. The professor had seen me perform a couple numbers before at a UCLA fundraiser show I'd done before. And she asked me to do those 2 numbers, but then gave me an hour and 20 minutes to lecture about whatever I wanted. So I got to talk about queer history. The prompt of the lecture was voice. So interesting for lip syncing, because lip syncing is technically the absence of your own voice. But how can you use voice for a political statement, for social change? And I got to talk about queer history. I got to shout out people like Charles Duvall. And it was just really cool to present Barbette, to present people from queer history, to talk about how we've ended up where we are today. And to, I think the thesis of my argument is throughout history, queer performance has come in and out of vogue. As soon as a straight person feels that they are uncomfortable with it or it's too much, it's tend to get isolated from society. Like Barbette was banned from the UK after she was touring there and she was caught in bed with a police officer. And so queer people often, the end of their lives isn't usually happy because of how society treats them. But a big part of the DIVOS message and my goal for my drag is, as long as I'm alive, queer culture will not go out of vogue because it's not in vogue. It's a part of the world. And so you can't just get rid of us. We're here.
I like that lots.
So
what were some of the highlights of the lecture then? Any impactful moments?
My favorite moment, there was a lot of really cool moments, but one moment is one girl raised her hand. She's like, I don't have a question. I just want to say that I've only ever seen Republican rhetoric about drag. And getting to see you present your art and your positivity has been like one of the most influential lectures I've ever had at UCLA. Like, thank you for being here. And it was like really cool. The professor was so supportive and like thanked me for my presence, which my ego didn't need that. But no, I feel proud of myself. I did a really good job. I made a little vlog about it if you want to check it out on YouTube. But yeah, no, it was a big success. I'm very honored. I've been invited back. So if I want to go do the lecture again when they teach the class, well, I haven't been, hopefully I'll be invited back. She said she would.
I'm sure you will be invited back. And can I just say from outside perspective, I've seen it now actually a handful of times in the past couple months or so. You performing your drag to brand new people who have never seen drag before, never seen especially you in drag before. And I've seen it a handful of times where they've come up to you afterwards and told you how impactful it was to them to watch it and how like it, it's really, I'm gonna inflate your ego, say it changed their life, but like it changed their life, see you for the first time. And I feel like for the first year of your drag, there's just not as much of that. And I love that now you're really getting recognized for your drag from brand new people. And so in years, when they look back, they'll think, damn, Divos was the first person that I saw in drag and Divos opened my eyes. That's awesome.
Thank you. I think like for, the podcast doesn't necessarily showcase this, but because I'm just so funny on the podcast. But, my drag is usually usually has at least a political statement in part of it. And I put that through humor, the lens of humor, because I feel like people listen better. One, when they like what they see. But two, when it's presented through comedy. So it was just like a big honor, I just wanted to mention it, like memorialize it in the podcast, because it's cool now that the podcast can kind of chronologically capture our successes.
That's true. It really can.
Yeah. Okay, so our Twink Twank Twunks of the
Twink
week.
Twank Twunk of the weeks.
I have my Twunk. We saw it at Mardi Gras. It's malt liquor. Malt liquor.
Oh my god.
If you're drinking malt liquor, please explain yourself.
Malt liquor is so twunk.
Twunk.
Oh, when was the last time you even had malt liquor?
I think I've only had it once, and it was because we were like in a rush and I had to get intoxicated for the journey.
I
don't condone.
It is properly disgusting. Okay. Well, I know you started with your twunk. I would love to start with my twink. My twink is those little geckos that you find in the swamps of Florida.
Yeah. Or like Arrowhead, California.
Or
the geckos or the
geckos.
lizards?
Geckos.
Like the green ones?
Yeah, green ones.
The chameleons?
No, geckos.
Okay.
They go gah. They got like a little gecko.
How do they go?
They go gah.
Huh?
Gah.
Okay, one more time.
Gah. They're adorable.
Geckos or twink?
Geckos are very twink.
Okay. My twink, Liquid IV.
Yes. Ooh. Do tell.
Because I feel like it's sweet, and I feel like the part of the twink energy is to make things easy and glamorous. And so it's like, I need to flavor my water to get it in my tiny little body, but I want to be hydrated.
I like that.
Yeah.
Shout out to the podcast. We have a friend who does not put Liquid IV into her water. She'll actually open it and drink it, or eat it like a pixie stick. And I think the first time I saw it,
she gums the Liquid IV.
It was the most buck wild thing I think I've ever seen in my life.
She gums Liquid IV.
She gums it?
She like licks her finger.
Basically, yeah.
She essentially gums the Liquid IV.
I've never seen anything like it in my life before. It's insane. Hi, Natalie.
Okay, you're next.
Anyways, my twunk is next. My twunk is sheet metal.
Yeah.
Because I see twunk as very unrefined, raw, just kind of in its primal state. And I think sheet metal is just very, obviously it is refined and it's not raw metal, but it's sheet metal,
Right.
I feel like you never see sheet metal somewhere where that place is done, and it's finished. Like sheet metal is in the process. It's just very twunk.
Very twunk.
Very twunk.
Okay, my twank. I don't know the correct name for this item, but it's the off-brand Legos. Not Legos, but like connects us. You know what I'm talking about? I don't remember what they're called. The off-brand Legos are so twank. But go off. I did my thesis on the Pokemon Company International, and Lego was one of the first companies to advertise to women. So I love the Lego company, but I do have to shout out the off-brand Lego. That's twank.
I do. I love that. Well, we once made, Devin got I think for Christmas, got a big pack of off-brand Legos Pokemon.
The Evolutions.
We spent time making them, and they worked fine. All right, so my twank, you're gonna love this. The banjo. Instrument is the banjo.
Not the ukulele?
Not the ukulele. For two parts, the banjo is just very twank, just in its heft, its instrument. Also, twank, twang. Come on.
Oh, you love the auditory twang.
I love the auditory twang for twang.
Do you hold banjos like this, or you hold it low?
I think just sideways, and you like go. It's really cool because your picks are little rings you wear on the tips of your fingers.
Shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know bagpipes, the air is in the instrument, you push the air out?
It's insane, yeah.
Wow.
That's why they can do one continuous song, like the classic Irish songs. You have to stop to breathe. We digress.
Those were the Twink Twank Twunks of the week. So I think we did everything for this episode.
Woo! Yeah, every point. Oh, what a fun episode.
Thank you for stopping by. Happy late Mardi Gras, everyone.
Happy early Pride Month, everybody.
Happy early Pride Month. Allegedly, it was Valentine's Day. If you didn't have a Valentine this year, we are your Valentine. Blow kisses to camera 2. Blow kisses to camera 1.
Wait, catch those kisses.
And ASMR kisses to the audio listeners. Thanks for coming to Twink Twink Twunk.
Thank you all for watching.
Yeah.